Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and full review of this Sainlogic professional Wi-Fi weather station with internet access. Yeah, the listing says internet wireless weather station with outdoor sensor, rain gauge, weather forecast, wind gauge, Wunderground or weather underground connection. It's listed on Amazon currently for around $170. It's pretty new as far as I can see. It has many good reviews, so I thought, yeah, I'll give it a try. Here is this one, because as a weather fan, actually you want to be part of the community, weather underground community, and to be able to contribute to the whole thing. I mean, a lot of apps are getting the information from the weather underground, and without that it's getting difficult. So, and I wanted to have all this nice information for me locally. I wanted to have my own official weather station in the internet up and running again. So this looked for me the best opportunity. So here we have the box. It's huge. We have some information here in the back. It's difficult to see. Hope you can see that, everything, if you want to read that. But I guess there's everything about that on the Amazon listing as well. You get a sneak peek of everything. The device itself, it has some solar support, but you still need some additional batteries. Yeah, it has a lot of information. I really like this thing here. So let's take it out and see what we get in the box. So the box came nicely sealed. Always good to know that we get a new one. Yeah, what we also get here is the full manual. It's huge, it's very comprehensive. It's 53 pages. So usually I'm going to show you the full manual, but 53 pages, I cannot do that. You can see, I should give you a sneak peek here. What you have, there's really a lot of very comprehensive information, really helpful. But the good thing is we have the website. It's not just any no-name company here. They have their own website with all the information. They have the support. So if you need something, go to the website and find everything out. I mean, you can already find a lot on the Amazon listing, which I will definitely put down into the description. But you will probably also find a lot of information on their website here. So here we have the display. Yeah, we have this protection here. You can see everything is nicely protected also with this thing here. You don't have to be worried that you get anything damaged when you order it. And yeah, that's looking pretty cool here. I'm really interested to see what we can do here. Get some mounting material and this power adapter for the display. Then these mounting brackets, I guess, for the outside. The central unit here with everything, with the rain funnel, with the anemometer, with the wind direction meter, everything. The temperature sensor nicely protected against too much heat from direct sun. This is what we want to see these days. Looks really nice, compact, comes with everything what we need here. And so we can mount it like this, of course. Yeah, here this post here we can put inside and mount it with the brackets we get. And yeah, I think this is looks like pretty good quality, not too thin, not too cheap. So I think this could last for quite some time. Really optimistic about this thing. So I'm going to mount this outside because we are expecting a strong cold front in a couple of hours. The first really strong cold front of the year here in Florida, and I want to be prepared, and I hope I can show you some nice weather information from this cold front. Hope we get some rain, which is really rare in autumn. And so I'm going to finalize this review after a couple of days of experience to see how this thing is holding up, but at the moment it's looking really good. Yeah, what I almost forgot to show you, of course, it's important to see the batteries, how to insert the batteries, how this works, and what batteries we need. Here we need 3 of the AAA batteries, and for the outdoor device we need 3 of the AA batteries, but looks like it's very easy to insert, no big deal, everything fits really nicely. For the outdoor device we can secure the thing with a screw. So maybe we can see already some connection here. Let's be careful with this thing. I don't want to break it before I'm going to use it. And you can see I have plugged it in here with the power adapter. We have the batteries, and so I think we already have connection here. Yeah, I think we have really good connection. I've been spinning this thing, the anemometer, before already, and it has been showing then this wind gust here. So you can see that here the anemometer is spinning, and yeah, it has an average. That's really interesting. So we have every couple of seconds probably the really current wind, and then we have average, and we have so many things. We have temperature, humidity, we have the rain, we have so many things, and the display, that's just a beauty. And we have a couple of buttons here on the side, so minimum, maximum, alarm, set mode, channel, and snooze. Plenty of different options. So I'm really going to place it now outside, and then let's see what information we get. So this is now a couple of hours later. I've been installing the outside device. Yeah, wasn't too difficult. I mean, the only difficult part is to find a good location, but to mount was pretty easy. The mount is very flexible, it's good, it's sturdy, it's that's really nice. It's much better than with the Accurite which I had, so it was not a real problem. And especially the device, I have found it pretty sturdy. I mean, I was pretty rough during the installation, nothing broke, so it's a good thing. Yeah, definitely, like hardware wise. So this is the indoor unit now, and we can see it's connected. It's even connected to Wi-Fi. It's even reporting to the internet. It's reporting to the Weather Underground, to the weather cloud. I've already set it up, and it wasn't too difficult. So there are a couple of things to know. I mean, the whole thing to operate this unit here is not very easy, but it's no difference compared to like Accurate. These things tend to be pretty difficult, but at the end, I mean, when everything is set up, it's no big problem anymore. The only thing, my only complaint is that the buttons here are on the side. The writing is pretty small. It's difficult to feel anything. I mean, if you are used to that, there are pretty much just 3 buttons which you have to remember, and everything else is just used during the setup. But it would have been nice to have these things here in the front, or at least some writing here. The display itself is really beautiful. It's much nicer than what you see on this camera here. The camera isn't able to record everything, like the colors really nicely. I mean, the blue is really nice, the yellow is really nice, green as well. On the camera you can't see this, unfortunately. Yeah, you have 3 buttons here actually on the side, and all of them have 2 functions. So you really need the manual, so otherwise you will be lost. I mean, it's impossible to remember everything, but at the end, really, after everything is set up, it's not difficult. You have to just remember 3 of them. So for the setup, what I'm going to show you is not much. So here we have the alarm. When you press long, it will activate or deactivate the buzzer here. So means for everything which you do, there will be a beeping, which I don't like. So we press long again, and the buzzer is off. So you can see this is what I want, especially during the night. I don't want to wake you up, people. And when we long press here, that's the settings button, and we can go through everything with when we press set again, we can go through everything, date and day and time, and there are so many things. I'm not going to explain you what you can do, but with these minus and plus buttons you can adjust everything. But the time you don't have to adjust, you can just select automatically sync, and then it will sync to the Wi-Fi time. I have it on here. So, and always to go out of settings and those things, that's the snooze button here on top. Very easy. So these are actually the 3 buttons which you have to remember. That's pretty easy. The set button has about 3 main functions. So with the long press you set everything up. And the second function of the set is when you just short press and it starts blinking here, you press again and then it goes to the rain, and then you press to the min max and you can see all the settings for the rain. Unfortunately, I have already deleted everything because when I was installing it, of course I was moving the sensor, so it was not showing correct value, so I reset everything. But you can see here with this min max button you can go through the rate, total, monthly, weekly, and those things. And the thing is, the item which you choose, that will be the default. So I'm leaving it on 24 hours. So I quit here. You can see it will stay on 24 hours. But I can, without changing this thing, I can also see the other values. But I have to start with this min max here, and then I can push the set for short time, and I can see then the other values like the 24-hour value, the weekly value, that was the thing which I had before, monthly value, rate, those things without changing anything. So there are in total 3 different settings or 3 different functions which you have with this set. You can also see we have set everything up here. Wi-Fi is connected, it's not blinking, and it's also transmitting to Weather Underground and to the weather cloud. And I highly recommend, before you do the Wi-Fi setup here in this device, or I mean on your PC, go to these websites, go to Weather Underground and Weather Cloud and set up your station there. It's not a big deal, it just takes a couple of minutes. It's pretty easy to do that. And when you have the IDs, you always, like from every site, you get an ID and a key. You have to remember that. Just write it down, or better copy and paste it to a new document, and then you push here for 3 seconds and the Wi-Fi will start to blink, and then you go to your PC and connect to the access point Wi-Fi which this device will emit. It's called like weather something, like weather home. You'll find it. That's a normal, like it looks like a normal Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. You connect there. It will never really confirm that you are connected. You don't have to provide password. You just click on connect, and then you invoke your browser, and then you go and type this URL. I hope you can see that. That's 192.168.5.1. If it doesn't work, you have to use HTTP. And when you are there, I mean, just press enter, and you will see a website which is produced by this device here. And there you have to enter the Wi-Fi credentials of your real Wi-Fi, of the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi from your internet service provider router, or the router which you are always using. Provide everything there, also the password to that, and there you can provide the IDs and keywords to the Weather Underground and the Weather Cloud. The thing is, it's a little bit misleading with the Weather Underground. It says like username or something like that. It's not a username, it's the station ID. With both sites, just enter the station IDs and the keys each. No, it has nothing to do with your email. No, not your password, not your email. Just the station IDs and the station keys are required. And yeah, there's not much more to specify. Just check the box on top of the weather underground and weather cloud to make sure it's transmitted. When it's transmitting, then you will see this icon, and for me it has been working pretty fast. Both sides have been immediately confirming that the weather information is transmitted. There's a small problem when you set these things up with weather underground or weather clouds. They ask for the type of weather station you're using, and with both sides, this device, the Sainlogic, is not included in the selection. So with the weather underground, I've been selecting other, and with the weather cloud, there was no other, but it's described in the description here that you can pick anything. What I have been picking is the accurate weather station, but I think it really doesn't matter. There's probably just some statistics information for them. So overall, it was pretty easy. So again, back to these 3 buttons, which you only need actually at the end when everything is set up and running. So usually you start everything here with this button here. You have the maximum for everything and you have the minimum for everything. And for the rain, when it's on the maximum and you see the rain, just click short on the setting and you can see all the values for the rate, 24-hour, week and months. That's pretty easy. And always to go back, that's the snooze here on top. The snooze is also used for the brightness or turn on and turn off the display. So we can, even when we have it now on power, we can long press and turn it off in total or turn it on again. So and this we can do no matter if it's corded or only running from the battery. Of course, when it's running from the battery, it could drain the battery pretty fast. So I would not leave it on permanent display just with the battery. What you could do with the battery, you could have it turned off and then just press short, and then it will show everything for a couple of seconds and then turn off. I think it's about 5 seconds. This is what you can do. Of course, you can also do this thing during the night. When the display is on, you can press for short time and you can see it will change the brightness. What's a little bit my complaint here is that there's not much change, so it's hard to see any difference. It would have been much nicer if we would have like a much lower dark setting, so something which would work during the night when we have it like on the side of our bed, so we could run it 24/7, like on a sideboard or beside the bed or something like that, when it would be low brightness. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll put tinting foil on top of that, so everything is a little bit darker, so I can leave it on also during the night, and I can then see the time, I can see temperature, is something coming like a storm, I can see the rain and everything. Could be interesting also during the night when you cannot sleep, storm is coming or so. But apart from that, I think the idea of the display is really good, that we have most of it in black and just in numbers bright. With the accurate, my last station, I had it exactly opposite, so everything was totally bright and the numbers have been dark, and that made it super difficult to dim it and still see something. I think with this one it's much better when we dim it with some tinting foil. I mean, you can always get it with like when you go to car tinting shops, they always have some spare parts, and probably you can get something small which fits for here. You can put it on top and then you can make it dark and still see the numbers. That's something which is really nice here. So overall for me it has been working pretty good. So setup, I would say this is about what you can expect from a weather station. The connection is pretty cool here. I mean, I remember when I did it for the Accurate weather station, it took me much more time. So here it was super easy with this access point here, no separate device, everything is built into this thing. So you don't have to worry about a separate station which you have to power and place somewhere. That was really weird with the Accurate. So this setup here is much better, much easier. So you just have one device which does everything, and for me it looks like it's pretty nice. So at least at the moment the numbers are looking good. I mean, they make sense as far as I can see. And so one tip from my side, if you are not close to the station and you want to know what's the exact weather outside, or you are in the office or traveling and you want to check the data of your weather station, you can do that with the weather station. There's an app, Android app. I don't know if this exists also for iOS. So this looks pretty good. I haven't found a dedicated app for Sainlogic. Maybe there's something, but I haven't found it. But I can highly recommend to use this weather station thing, where you can add any Wunderground weather station. You can then add your own station and have also other stations which are close, and then you can easily compare the one from you to other stations here, and you can see all the main data like temperature, humidity and pressure and temperature and the rain, UV, a lot of things. I mean, not everything, but most of the data you can access here on this thing. So, and especially it's really super easy to compare to other weather stations which are close. So yeah, I didn't want to let you go without a little bit more of experience. Now I've been using this weather station for about 24 hours, and yeah, the values seem to be pretty accurate. I have been comparing to all the weather stations around me, and it looks like everything, like the temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, everything is pretty much on par. What I've been seeing as well from other people around me. We have a lot of weather stations around, and they look pretty much the same. And I really like all these, a lot of values, all these numbers which we get all the time. So yeah, there are a lot of information which you have right away without pressing any button. The only thing which I miss here is the maximum and minimum temperature without pressing any button. That would have been nice here, but of course it's just one button away here. It's not a big deal, but it would have been nice to have max and min temperature without doing anything. And yeah, I had it on the bedside table the whole night, and exactly as I was expecting, it was too bright even on the lowest setting during the night, and I had to turn it off with a long press here. And I will probably look for a solution with a tinting foil to be able to keep it displayed 24/7. By the way, the display itself is pretty good. I haven't noticed any major problems with the visibility. It has some problems at some very specific angles, but most of the angles are really good. You can see that here when I go around. There are very few angles where you have limited visibility, but usually you can see, you can almost view this from all angles, and it has really a nice visibility. So for me, like this thing on a stand works pretty good, and this is probably what most people will have it in a similar angle like this, and this works almost the best. And you can see the numbers from far away because the numbers are so large in the display. And also I've been checking on Weather Underground and on the Weather Cloud, if the station has been reporting all the time, and yeah, it worked absolutely perfect. I haven't found any interruptions, so it has been reporting 24/7, whole night, whole day, without any interruptions, so absolutely perfect. Yeah, so from my side, really full recommendation. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's well worth the money. I really like it, and I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description, so you can check it out and order it right from there if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.